In 2012, you could say that Lana Del Rey was the most hated person on the internet. Scratch that, she was the most hated person on the internet. Getting attacked by music critics and indie bloggers left and right, Lana was drawn up as being an insidious industry plant, created by the industry to fool listeners into thinking she was an authentic rags to riches musician, when the real story was a lot less inspiring. As you probably know, there's some truth to both sides. So, when Lana managed to get an SNL slot only 3 months after she had released her first single, critics were livid. The SNL stage, which they worshipped as holy ground for established musicians, was apparently too prestigious for Lana. Lana was announced as a musical guest on SNL on December 19th, 2011. At that time, she had only released video games. Well, she had also released Lana Del Rey, aka Lizzie Grant, but most people didn't know that yet. So people were instantly critical about whether she deserved or had the experience to perform on SNL, when she had only performed a handful of gigs as Lana Del Rey. I mean, that didn't really stop Jessie J in the year before, who still isn't really known in the United States, or Ashley Simpson, who... yeah. Lana responded to the criticism, saying,
I'm a little nervous for SNL. I've done live television in Europe, but never in America, no TV here yet. So, you know, you just hope it goes well and you don't up. But I'm just, I love the 2 songs I'm gonna do on it, so, and my band is really good and they're gonna be with me, so I'm sure it'll be good.
She also said in an interview, I definitely think it's an honor. I don't think they've ever had anyone who didn't even have a record out, so I do appreciate it. But I got it because I'm a good musician, and I may not have a record out now, but I have been singing for a very long time, and I think that Lorne Michaels knows that, and everyone over there knows that. It's not a fluke decision. As you probably know, the backlash was harsh, and people who didn't even have anything to do with music or Lana all jumped on the hate train. Wow, watching this singer on SNL is like watching a 12-year-old in their bedroom when they're performing to sing and perform. Hashtag sign of our times. I love you, but that was a hot mess. Lana Del Rey's next song is called Muted Television while people brush their teeth and prepare for bed. And my personal favorite, I Still Love You, Lana Del Rey, my beautiful, sedated, zombie fembot ice princess. In many ways, it was what Lana's haters were dying for all along. The feedback to Lana's performance on SNL was a vindication for anyone who resented her for having the means to buy herself out of a recording contract, immediately start recording new music, and find huge success. It confirmed to them what they thought all along. She's got a career under false pretenses and she has zero talent. What did Lana think of all this mess? Well, in an interview with Rolling Stone, only 2 days after her performance, she told them that she felt good about it, thought she looked beautiful, and sang fine. She also said the cast and crew said they loved it.
Oh my God, it's not funny.
There's backlash about everything I do. It's nothing new. When I walk outside, people have something to say about it. It wouldn't have mattered if I was absolutely excellent. People don't have anything nice to say about this project. The performance even inspired the implosion of the early 2010s hipster music blog, Hipster Runoff. Also, if you were a fan of Lana in 2012, you would know that they played a big part in exposing Lana's past as Lizzie Grant. However, Lana did have a small redemption arc 2 weeks later when she appeared on Letterman and sang video games, this time garnering much better reviews from critics. The treatment of Lana Del Rey's performance on SNL was more than just an overreaction by the media. It symbolizes the unfair treatment of female pop stars throughout music history. Even though perceptions towards pop music today are much better than what they were in 2012, female musicians still face much harsher treatment towards their music and live shows than their male peers. If a man had gone onto SNL, sung out of tune and given a shaky performance, do you think that he would have faced the same crucifixion and public shaming than if he was female? At least he wouldn't have gotten comments like, "At least I'd..." her. SNL even commented on the over-top reaction to Lana in this skit with Kristen Wiig.
Lana, 3 weeks ago, you were on the show and you sang 2 songs off your new album. That's what I thought I did, Seth, but based on the public's response, I must have instead clubbed a baby seal while singing the Taliban national anthem.
That's true, Lana. There was a surprisingly big backlash.
Although she hasn't talked about SNL much after 2012, the performance has still played a major part in Lana's career. Since SNL and Letterman, she has only performed on live TV once, but not actually in a TV studio, and she became much more guarded and defensive towards critics throughout her career. She has only reflected on the incident once in an interview with Elton John in 2019, where she agreed with Elton that it wasn't a terrible performance, and also said, "What's weird is, it's the one night in all my time performing that I wasn't nervous. I remember the intention I had. Looking back, there was a more eccentric performance approach to it. I was thinking about Maria Callas or someone darker coming through." She also reflected on the critics' questioning of her getting an SNL slot so early in her career, saying, "What's funny is I was selling out arenas for a year before. That's how the guy who runs it heard about me, because he thought, this is strange, this girl is selling out arenas and she has 2 songs." I personally really like the SNL performance, maybe only because it brings me back to that early stage in the internet where YouTubers and internet people weren't insane psychos, at least on the surface, and BuzzFeed used to make random facts videos with no people in them. Let me know down below what you thought of Lana at SNL. Like the video and subscribe if you're new. Currently listening, Lana doing a Shakira impression. What about you?